Alright, my interest in the Nintendo Switch stems from curiosity. I'm just gonna say it, I'm not buying the Switch because overall it's pretty underwhelming to me, and I believe that people who pre-ordered it so far are just doing so because of the Nintendo brand. And if it was Samsung who made it instead, nobody would have cared after the first month of hearing about it. Branding is important, but that's a whole other video in itself. What makes the Switch stand out is the way it's approaching traditional gaming. A console hybrid that's somewhere in between a home system and a handheld device. Sit on your couch and play on the TV and take it with you on the go when you head out. I'm all for creative ideas and pushing gaming forward, but looking past its face value, the Switch could be considered just Nintendo's take on a gaming tablet. So, with that in mind, I have to admit, all that I'm seeing from the Switch, it just seems that Nintendo is selling us the idea of the Switch rather than the Switch itself. And that sounds really weird to say. It's more, here it is, this is what you can do with it, and less, this is what we're going to do with it that's going to make it worth your while. Concept versus reality. The hype surrounding the Nintendo Switch is real. Why? Well, Nintendo tends to draw this type of attention almost with anything they do. They have a special place in gamers' hearts everywhere, so naturally all eyes are going to be focused on them when they're announcing a new system. So, following rumors, the Switch debuted its unique take on gaming. A console that hooks up to your TV with the ability to detach and game on the go, the motion sensing Joy-Cons that can detach from the screen enabling 2-player support, the seamless transition from being stationary to mobile, that overreaction from Jimmy Fallon, and if you mix in the hype around Breath of the Wild, Nintendo presented the Switch the best way they possibly could. It gives you the impression that they're onto something, and in my opinion they are, but all of this just seems familiar, like they've done this before. It's deja vu. I went back to watch the Wii U presentation and how they introduced it, and it was exactly the same. They show the console and they sell you the idea of owning it. Watching the presentation, I was hearing the same positive feedback from the crowd at every trick the Wii U showed. People losing their minds over the new Zelda, switching from the TV screen to the controller screen. I searched through reaction videos and first impressions of it just to make sure my suspicions were right, and everything was almost parallel to how it is now. It's like watching history repeat itself. I want the Switch to be a success, but yo, a good idea does not mean anything if it's executed poorly, so selling us the idea of the Switch is as good as selling us a dream. Nintendo's talking a good talk right now, but can they back it up with their lineup of games? At launch, you're getting 10 games including Breath of the Wild, which is the only game worth getting a Switch for at launch, if you don't already own a Wii U. So there's literally nothing here that warrants a pre-order other than to have it. Throughout the year, you're going to receive Mario Kart 8, which is just an updated version of Mario Kart 8, Splatoon 2, which is not exciting for certain reasons explained later, Fire Emblem Warriors, aka the Fire Emblem game nobody asked for, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I haven't played the first one, so I'll chalk this up to a win, another Super Mario game, and the most interesting game they showed, which I personally think blew everything else out the water, ARMS. ARMS looked dope, I'm sorry, yo, ARMS was the only game they showed which made the Switch look appealing. Other than that, nothing. Year one for the Switch looks dry, and judging by the mistakes, yes, mistakes, Nintendo has made it hard for the logical gamer to buy this shit. Why not wait till the fall to release the Switch? That way you would have much more of a stronger lineup of games ready and a more successful launch due to it being the holiday season. It would be the hottest thing in the market. Let's be honest, the Switch is entering a market that's split between the Xbox and the PlayStation. The Switch as a console is very different from both of those very similar consoles, and if you pride yourself on separating your product from the competition, Nintendo, why the fuck are you charging for an online service like your competition? That's just a dumbass move on your part. You're telling me I have to pay to use your online services? The same online services that use a 12-digit number to connect friends? The same service that wants to use an app on the phone to provide voice chat? Your service as it is right now is the reason why I say Splatoon 2 is not exciting. I don't want to play a shooter with my friends if it means I gotta get their friend code, charge my phone to talk to them, and play over bad servers. And what if I just want to play by myself? I'm not gonna play a team shooter and not be able to communicate with my team. I'm sorry, you crazy as fuck. You made a console to bring people together, right? But you're charging to do the same thing online. I don't get it. The least you could have done was include a panel in your presentation discussing the changes to your online infrastructure. That would have made sense. I mean, you give us something and we'll pay for it, but you didn't. So what does that tell us about the service you're charging us to use? You guys missed a lot of opportunities with this console, and I'm gonna speak about that right now. I don't understand how you guys just missed out on this shit, but whatever. Let's start with paying for online. Give us something worth paying for. Imagine if you announced a Netflix type subscription for your console where we paid like $10 a month and have a full access to Nintendo's gaming library. Think Sony's PlayStation Now, but not as overpriced. That would make the Switch way more appealing. Don't follow Microsoft and Sony for making us pay to play online. That should always be free. And speaking of online, it needs to be redone from the bottom up. Then after remaking your whole online infrastructure, you would have had something else to sell us on with the Switch. Hardware wise, I like the idea of the Switch, but initially I thought the dock worked as additional power to the Switch, much like how power cords gives gaming laptops an extra boost to help run games better and smoother. I made a video before speaking about the possibilities of consoles being modular. This could have been the closest thing that resembled my idea. Imagine if the dock worked as an extra power boosting the specs of the Switch when you're stationary at home, and imagine if over the years the dock was upgraded like how newer and better video cards come out. The Switch would always be the Switch when you're on the go, but your at-home experience would make it a proper modern-day console. Moving on to games, you have a new Zelda, another new Mario, but still no signs of Metroid Prime, F-Zero, a proper Star Fox game, maybe Kid Icarus. Yo, could you imagine a new GoldenEye game on the Switch? Playing co-op or against your friends fits perfectly with the idea of the console. I'm surprised Resident Evil 7 isn't a launch title after the success the series has had on your platform. I'm surprised you guys haven't reached out to Capcom about something new or giving Mega Man another shot at life. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Battle Network will kill in gaming today. And speaking of Battle Network, since it's made its name on the handheld, I personally think the biggest opportunity you missed was highlighting a relationship between the 3DS and the Switch. If the Switch is going to be a mobile on-the-go console, we're not gonna sit here and act like the successful 3DS doesn't already exist in that realm. If you made the Switch connect with the 3DS and allowed 3DS owners to interact with Switch owners, that would have been dope. There's a long list of things Nintendo could have done to make the Switch successful in gamers' eyes as well as business-wise. They don't have to compromise one to fulfill the other, but will they do it? I doubt it. This is kind of it for Nintendo when it comes to consoles. They have to win with the Switch. Personally, I don't see the Switch as a product I would want right now or the near future from what I've seen. That could change, but if history tends to repeat itself, I will be more than happy to continue owning a 3DS and not buying a dressed up Wii U. Yo, it is what it is. I'll end this video with one suggestion that applies to everybody, not just Nintendo. Reach out to us, work with us, and we'll give you honest and constructive criticism that would benefit both parties greatly. Gaming Ethos from the Gaming Illuminati brought up a monster of an idea for Nintendo, and that is to make a Pokemon MOBA. I didn't know I wanted that game until I heard him say it. Yo, reach out to us, work with us, we can be successful together. Comment what you think about the Switch below, like and share this video with friends, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, I'm out.